See, it just came up on his phone, so that's good. See? I didn't know it did that.
Oh, by the way, are you wearing a Batman shirt? It's almost like we tried.
I can't. I get started.
Ready? Oh, look, it fits so much better.
Good.
All right, MJ Ortiz, Bob Trait. We are going to open the first wave of Avengers Infinity War figures. There's a lot to do here, a lot to unpack for sure. So we're going to try to be a little bit more speedy than we normally are. And we will try to break these up one by one and repost them. So in case you only want to see, Serpent Society. I mean, that's obviously everybody's favorite, right?
Actually, it's the one I'm looking most forward to.
I know. I hate to say it. Me too.
Yeah. I'm kind of interested in Cobra.
All right, let's just move these.
Get these out of the way
for
here.
now.
7 figures, and we're gonna build a figure.
Yes, we are. All right, we are going to start with Captain America, the 950th Captain America that they've made.
It'd be nice if there was actually a number. I'm sure somewhere on
Yeah.
the web you could say
Somebody knows.
there's 2,000 Spider-Man action figures from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And then
everybody was making fun of the head sculpt. I don't know if you can zoom in. I think we got lucky. This is one of the better head sculpts that I've seen. I've seen some that look pretty funky.
he looks great on the back. But,
Yeah,
like,
flip it, show them the back.
Like I'm interested in looking at the product difference between what's pictured on the back and actually what's pictured, what we actually get. And something I'd like to point out is that a lot of times the lead figure, the figure you get the most of in these Build-A-Figure waves, is the one that always comes with the Build-A-Figure head.
Yeah.
So if you're ever in doubt who the lead figure is or who the most of that one wave is going to be, I mean, obviously here we have it's Captain America, but in Man-Thing it was Daredevil, Thor, Odin's, all that kind of stuff. Those Build-A-Figures, it's usually the lead character. Which a lot of people who work at Target and Walmart, they don't know that. So they'll end up putting everybody else out, and then you wonder, well, wait a minute, where's the one with the head?
Yeah, where's the one I'm looking for?
That's the one I really need.
The one thing I do want to point out, and I mean, this is just more Marvel. I love what they've done, like kind of deconstructing his uniform, because you've got the heart of what was Captain America's Avengers, like upgraded uniform.
Yeah.
But now they've taken the Avengers A off because that's gone, and they've even taken the star out of the center because this is representing Nomad Cap.
Right.
This is a cap with no nation, essentially. So let's get into it. Oh, there we go. Already. See, that's what happens when you get fat fingers. I'm not going to make the jokes.
You're not going to make the jokes?
All right. Bob?
Oh.
Go for it.
It's got a nice after dinner kind of scent to it.
What does that even
I
mean?
did just have lunch, so that might have been.
So we have a nice little cap A for the Avengers, which is very cool. I mean, the whole Avengers line should have this, but I'm interested when we get to Taskmaster and Proxima Midnight.
Oh, and I did forget, guys, I told you we were going to talk about the side box art.
I put it up.
Okay, cool. I dig it. I really like, even the purple, yellow colors, kind of cool. So
I think you're right. I think we really lucked out here.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is kind of rubbery, flimsy, not really like a hard piece of plastic. But I think it's funny that we got Cap with we got 2 sets of hands. We got some fists, and then we got some hands where you can grab some things, but no gloves. So that's a little.
Okay.
You didn't go for the joke, so I'm impressed.
I know.
Impressed.
Get this man a shield.
So, I don't
Oh,
know.
it looks like he has claws. And
He kind of has like a trigger finger here, so that's kind of throwing off getting this getting the handle in here.
He also looks like he just squatted like 500 pounds. He's ready.
But
to
you know what?
go.
As faces go, it really does look like him.
Yeah, I take it back. I mean, I heavily made fun of it when they first started hitting the shelves. But I take it back.
I'd say he also looks like if Stephen Baldwin, gave a crap about his appearance.
A little Baldwin
A little
action.
Baldwin action there. I think he's a funny actor, but this is like cut Stephen Baldwin.
So old school.
Old school Baldwin.
So again, I mean, every time we open one of these, I'm just knocked out about how much better they're getting with articulation. I mean, there is just a ton you can do with this to pose this. But I will say, this figure feels really solid. At the end of the day, if I'm going to buy my kid a $19 figure, if he begs me, you're going to end up getting an Iron Man or a Captain America because that's what they care about. That's what they know. This figure feels like it could take, a beating from a 6-year-old. For sure.
That's a good perspective on it. Yeah, I don't know if I had a son, if I'd buy him a $20 figure, because one, I'd see him play with it and that would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's what are you doing? You're ruining its value.
Oh, and I like the belt is not the belt that he has is not just built into the mold.
It's loosely fitting.
I mean, you can't remove it, but it's it covers up the. I guess you can't actually pivot when it's like that, so you got to kind of move it up to do it. But I like it. I mean,
I think he's a really solid figure, and from what we've seen so far in the trailers, a great representation. The one thing I'm going to kind of comment on here, it looks like if you were a custom guy, it looks like you may be able to pull this hair off. It actually looks like it's almost a second piece.
Yeah.
And it's very, of course, very hard to show you that, but it actually kind of looks like you could pull the hair off. And maybe if you wanted to use it for a different figure, and that's only for custom people. But let's see how he stands on his own here. We're going to be a little bit quicker because we have 7 of these today. But let's point out, and Evan, if you can hold this up for us, I think it really looks. This is the Thanos head. This is the first piece in the build of Thanos. They've got like a little bit of like darker purple eyeliner under his eyes. And he's got like a little bit of color to his lips, so it's not just a straight purple piece, is what I thought it was going to be just looking at the box. But that's a really nice head sculpt. And when we build Thanos at the end here, or in the final video as you're watching this, we're going to actually try putting this head on the Build-A-Figure Thanos that we have, as well as the one that we got from Walmart. But we're going to skip over the hands here today, folks, the extra set of hands, because we're going to move on. But let's get to Spidey here.
All right, so this is the MCU version of Iron Spider. One thing, that'll get you right off the bat is that this figure does not come with any accessories. It just comes with Thanos' leg. I'm a little disappointed. I know that the Titan Hero, the upgraded version of Spider-Man, comes with the backpack with the gold claws that everyone knows from the Iron Spider outfit.
Extra legs.
I don't know that There you go. Why don't you pop them out? I don't know that I needed. There you go. We're gonna.
We did it the first time too. You didn't notice.
Are you gonna smell Thanos?
It's a little bit. It's a little bit flat. The paint isn't as strong or as overpowering. Really easy to get out, and he's kind of he's easy, really articulated, which I like. I love the head. They've got all the webs that are put into the head itself. The one thing I'm going to say is, and this goes along with your accessories, we got a Captain America who, do you really need to have just a straight fist? Whereas in Spidey, it would be nice to have a fist as well as we got the Spider-Man doing the web shooter. So this is more like,
Yeah, I think they probably
rock
opted.
on, dude. Where instead of just having a fist for punching, I don't quite get that.
It looks like they probably opted for extra points of articulation here because you can see there's extra like shoulder joints and everything over the other accessories. I get it. You know, you don't always have a ton of accessories with Spider-Man, but you know, I would have digged something.
I just like to point out that I think he has a lot more art to him than
He
Cap
does.
Yeah.
He does. The detail of the chest of the spider that goes into it, I think, is really cool. Actually,
I think that's probably where all the money went for.
I think-
I like the
designs
gold. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. I
Yeah.
think the gold
I think
shines.
I think outside of the extra hands, I got to say between him and Cap right now, I think I kind of like the Spidey better.
Well, Spider-Man is one of the hottest ones in this wave. I think it's Spider-Man and Taskmaster.
So, and what I like is if we do a back, can you see this, Evan, in the thing?
Yeah.
We get the perspective that yes, Spider-Man is younger. Like he's not. I mean, we think of him now as being, you know, close and as an adult, and here we've got this smaller figure, teenager, you know, kind of stance right next to Cap, who is supposedly, you know, the ideal male. He's probably 6'1" and all that other stuff.
Mike D says Spidey extra hand should be standard.
It should be, Mike. You're right. And,
I'm in agreement with you. on
and
that.
maybe there is another Spidey coming with the extra pieces. Who knows? That maybe
Could be.
we'll get more hands. And then again, maybe we could pull some hands off of some of the older Spideys
Yeah.
we have, because those are just the straight Spidey color. They don't have any like extra detail. They need the dark navy blue or the gold in there. But
Now-
side by side,
I know we're trying to rush through. The other thing I do want to point out is I love what they've done with this version of the Iron Spider suit. They've brought the gold in. The classic Iron Spider is just red and gold. I think that it loses not having that blue. And since this is the MCU, they
Yeah.
can do something different.
Yeah.
I think keeping the blue but highlighting it with the gold was absolutely the right way to go with this figure. I think it's really sharp.
It
So-
also differentiates him from Iron Man as well.
yes.
yeah. And I just overall, I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and this is, I think, actually, without the hands, this is a really, really solid
Yeah.
Spider-Man figure. This is a good figure. I like this. He's a little bit on the thinner side, but then again, so is Spidey. So
For
That's the way I like
those
it.
who don't look to have every version of Spider-Man, but like to have just one
a variety,
solid
a
team,
variety, yeah.
this is probably the one that I'd end up with. You know, if I had to pick, hey, this is my dream team. We're gonna pop over to Iron Man next. We're gonna try to hit all of the movie characters first before we go into the non-movie ones. You know, right off the bat, very cool box art, front, back. You know, I mean, this is supposed to be the version of the Bleeding Edge armor.
I think it's marked 50. Any junkies listening can? I thought I saw that he's marked 50. I've looked at so many toy products in the last couple of months. It's just
Okay.
ridiculous.
Now I can notice right off the bat we have like a little bit of a melted heart Iron Man.
Okay.
So if you take a look at the chest plate, it is definitely not supposed to look like that. So, I mean, versus the actual box art, I think we got a little bit of a beat up here,
Yeah.
but you know, it's still sharp. You know, I'm gonna go ahead. You know, since we were on accessories, you know, we'll talk about it. Since you've got the artwork, we know that this is the Iron Man suit that can travel to space.
Ooh.
Not having the back pieces from the Bleeding Edge armor, I think it's a misfire. I mean, I could have done without extra hands and without the
Yeah, but
That was the thing that I noticed this morning, is that the side art has the extra pieces on the back that you see in the, what is it, Entertainment Weekly?
yeah.
The cover for that, but you don't have that in the figure, which I think is weird. Also, Cody S says that he feels that a Spider-Man feels super short.
I don't think he's super short.
I
Cody.
think he seems in scale.
In scale, he should be, and that's the thing. Like, we're going to compare him to Thanos later, and he feels like he's the character. Like, in perspective of him and Cap, he should be just a little bit shorter. I think one of the big misfires here with Iron Man is that if we're talking accessories, he should come with Tony Stark's head. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they put him on all the posters, and he should come with an extra head. And maybe that's something Hasbro can do. Maybe you can just pull another head off of one of your older Tony Starks. But I mean, he's standing on his own. I think he's very light. Give him a
Oh yeah, I mean, in
Cap.
comparison to Cap,
Cap felt a little bit heavier.
Charles P said, did Drake just sniff the fig?
Yes.
And then
Thank you for watching. I do this when we open all figures.
Mike Deese is not sure if you are rushed for time, but I wonder if you guys have an opinion on why they mix MCU and classic characters in a wave.
I think it's their way of appeasing to the fans and giving us characters that maybe will never be in a movie. And I think it's also their way of showing other people, opening that door to saying, who is Taskmaster, who is Cobra, and who is Songbird. You know, these characters say, well, I'm going to look who that is. Maybe you don't buy the figure. Maybe you go and look at the comic and go, oh, okay, this is the Taskmaster.
My third point would be money. Because by filling out their first wave, I mean, you know wave 2 is going to get you Thor, which you don't have, and I think one or two other...
Probably like Groot and Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, well, there's the 3-pack.
Yeah, we have the 3-pack.
So by splitting it up into 2 waves and giving you another Build-A-Figure, they're getting twice as much money out of you versus fitting those 3 other movie characters into here. But then again, you'd never get Cole Obsidian if they didn't do wave 2 because he seems to be the Build-A-Figure.
Yeah.
You know, you're right here, Bob. This is light in comparison to Cap. For sure, he's lighter. I mean, there's incredible detail in this. I mean, you know,
side by side here.
You're going to see some very cool paint applications in the legs. We don't have the missing right golden paint app. We checked that out. You know, but I definitely would have preferred having his space, whatever you would call those, for his back, the thrusters that he uses to get out the space.
Well, here's another thing. He has no Build-A-Figure piece. So if you just want a figure without having to, like, what do I do with his leg? There's no Build-A-Figure piece. So you do get 2 of these, what is that, the repulsors?
Yeah.
You do get 2 of these blasts, which are nice because you could also use them as if he's flying with that.
That's actually, Cody S. was saying the last Iron Man, his pulsar hands had no hinge at all. I'm not sure about this one. Does he have a hinge on
the hinge? You mean the fingers, Cody?
I think he means the wrist.
Well, this was one thing I was going to bring up, is that his hand is kind of permanently in that position, and I felt as if I pushed it any further, it was going to break.
Yeah.
Now, he does have a fist for this hand, and the other hand is a fist. So they just have it like, you know, they have them split up in this pack. But if you lose a hand, you're kind of stuck with it being permanently out like this. It's not going to go like this, or even be like he's flying this way. It's a little tough. Check it out.
Yeah, there's no, that's just a straight peg there.
Yeah.
I kind of, I like the helmet. I like how drastically high up the cheekbone now kind of goes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty cool. It's reminiscent of some of the other armors that we've seen in the past. It's not just your traditional straightforward kind of Iron Man head with this new suit that he's got. Mm-hmm. But again, very cool. Tony Stark.
I really like. I keep adjusting them so they stand properly, and they really do have great.
Oh yeah,
joints on the ankles. I mean, here's in flight, and then you can really adjust his ankles to the atmosphere or the ground in which you're putting him to try to get him to stand. And
it wouldn't be a live stream if we didn't compare this to Mattel, and Mattel. Their ankle joints is nowhere near Hasbro. I mean, I hate to say it, but what are you going to do?
Well, as long as we're on that subject, I know this will elongate our review here. I think that in a lot of ways, and when Evan and I went to Toy Fair, we kind of saw that Mattel is making toys for children. They aren't so much making a figure for collectors. Now, would kids like to play with these? I'm sure some of them do. But it's not. This is more of a collector's market, right down to the box, right down to the Build-A-Figure. All of these things I think, are more for collectors, more for people that are a little bit older. With the Mattel toys, I don't think they're fans. I think their fans expect more and are disappointed. Where the kids just want it and play with it, and that's it, and they move on. I saw Batman yesterday at Toys R Us. It was the multiverse Ben Affleck Batman with the hood that came off. I don't think anybody, unless they were a completist, would want that figure. It was awful.
I have it. I had to
I
find
said
it.
unless they were a collector completist.
I have 3 things to say.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
One, Charles B says he thinks that all figures with masks should come with an unmasked head,
Yeah.
which in Iron Man's case, at least like an open mask.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
you could
cool.
just have the Tony Stark
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
think they've done that version though. I think they've done the break off face.
And then Mike D was responding to his question about mixing the characters. He was thinking that he'd be happier as a collector just keeping them separated because you don't need to buy the ones that aren't part of the movie to get the Build-A-Figure.
That's a good point, Mike. But in the long run, Hasbro is in this to make money, and they're going to sell us figures that we don't necessarily want. But if we want to build the figure, then it becomes problematic, and then they want to sell you these extra things, and it's usually what it's all about.
And then, just real quick, 2 more. One, Cody S. says DC shirts and Marvel reviews, love it. And then Charles says that he loves the Bat shirt. It's the bomb.
Oh, it's the Bat 2C. So if you like
Banksy.
Banksy, the artist, this is actually a riff on one of his famous.
There's never a good place to get rid of a bomb.
Exactly, and it's never a good place to get rid of a bomb. So yeah, I really like this shirt. This isn't licensed. However, his is licensed, but mine is a T-Fury, I
You
believe.
would think that we plan it this way.
No, we didn't.
All right, so Proxima. How do you say
Proxima Midnight.
Proxima Midnight. Now,
We are reading up on her. She is a lieutenant of the Black Order and serves Thanos in his quest for power. So this is a new character. We all went, who? What?
Well, I'm most looking forward to her because she seems to play a rather large role in the film. From what I've been able to read up on, she seems to almost have because they don't really have a great representation, but she's kind of a Wonder Woman, a bad version of Wonder Woman or Supergirl.
Nice.
She's super powered, super strength. I want to see who they team her up against, because they normally pair them off.
Yeah.
Into who's going to be their main, antagonist that they're going to fight versus. So I look forward to seeing what they do with her. But I mean, the scale on her is epic. I mean, just from pulling her out, not only do they give you the largest piece of Thanos, which is going to be, chest and legs, if I can get it out of here. Scale-wise, she's almost the whole box.
Yeah.
And you don't see that very often. I mean, she could be almost, 7 inches? Nice big accessory here.
If you need to stab 3 vampires at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to use this wooden folk?
Yeah. This is not what Korg had in Thor Ragnarok, but it's close.
It looks almost the same, actually.
If they had a Korg figure, I would definitely give him this.
Oh man, I want a Korg figure. That would be cool.
Yeah, this is awesome, guys. I mean,
We took the piece out. I'm like, wait, how can I miss it? Yeah, she's
that's her versus.
I would put her.
Yeah,
put
let's
them on
put.
there 'cause
I
you can't
think
see
Iron
this.
Man is just a slightly taller than Cap, but put them side by side.
Oh man.
I mean, she towers, and she's got heels, a little set of heels. So I'm gonna guess those are 6-inch.
Wow.
I can't
I'm interested to
understand
see. I'm interested to
Give it a
see
shot.
how she stands next to Thanos, and see if she gets a little bit more of a. She's got her. Wow, like the shoe of her with her heel is actually like a whole extra. I don't even know the actress that plays this part. Might be her arms too. Might be throwing her off. I don't know. It is a moving piece we're setting her down on, but yeah, that's a big figure.
Yeah, she's epic. I mean, the detail on the body is very, very cool. You can see from where's her box art?
It's really cool artwork on the side of her too.
From her box art, the gold in the box art pops a little bit more. This is more of like a dull gold. But I mean, it's really, really, really
Now,
sharp.
what accessories does she come with besides the Triton?
That's it. She just
Wow.
comes with the
Now
trident.
she does come with the biggest piece of Thanos.
Bang for your buck. That's the most figure you're going to get out of this whole wave, or at least the Infinity Wave portion.
She's got a decent head. I would say that maybe she's got some little marks on her lips that are pretty cool. You want to hold her up there?
She looks
But
like
a little bit more, I think, up here at the top of her brow. She's got some paint on there, but I think just a little bit more.
She looks like she could be Worf's cousin.
Yeah, she's definitely got a weird
She's got
kind
a little
of
Klingon.
yeah. It's
vibe.
definitely a cool, interesting character and totally a different vibe. And it gives another female character to the Marvel Legends line, which is cool, and a female villain, which is neat. Like they haven't even made a lot of the Serpent Society, who we'll get to here in a bit. There's a lot of women in that group, and this is kind of cool to actually have another female villain. It would
Did
have
they
been
make a Hela?
Yes.
Marvel Legends?
yeah, they did.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
I would say I'm also, I guess, so they say that she's part of Thanos' Black Order. They're not calling her like a daughter of Thanos, like
Yeah.
you would a Nebula or a
Oh, there they go.
All right.
Nebula and why I'm spacing
Gamora.
Gamora. You've got to figure they're gonna face off because they have to know each other. So I think that will definitely be epic. We're gonna leave this one up just because this
Yeah.
one's my favorite of the wave.
She's cool.
She's
cool.
really cool. And for a character that you don't know yet, I think they've done a
Yeah.
good job of showing you her, but not giving you too much information.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a nice balance, which they don't always do. Sometimes they tend to spoil it a little bit
And that's
before
one
the
of
movie.
that's one of my favorite things when the MCU brings in these other characters. I mean, I'm watching Jessica Jones right now, and they brought in the character of the Wizard, and not the Wizard, the Wizard. And already, like it was neat to see a character brought to life in a different kind of format than what we saw in the comic book. But along this lines, here's somebody I absolutely know nothing about, and now I just want to pick up. I'm going to get online and read as much as I can about her.
I believe she's in Infinity, the Infinity storyline.
Oh, she's in the Infinity storyline. Okay,
but not
it's,
the Gauntlet, but it's called Infinity. It's a
Okay.
newer.
yeah, it
Marvel
almost
event.
she almost looks like she
Wow,
should
that
be
that
a
hair
Wonder.
is great.
She
Yeah.
should be a Wonder Woman villain. Like I'm
Yeah.
looking at her and thinking like her on Supergirl, her on in a new Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah,
but
this-
here she is, MCU, and
The sculpt, I mean, you can almost see the layers in her hair. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
yeah.
So, all right, we've got 3 non.
They've started in the comments. I think they want to start a petition to make a Gambit figure.
Okay,
A
everybody's-
modern-
People are saying that they want somebody to make. They want us to tell Hasbro to make Gambit instead of some of these other
Well,
people make Gambit.
They've made the old Gambit in the
Yeah.
old Marvel Legends, I believe. But
I don't think he's part of what will be the X-Men wave this
No, he's
year.
not, no.
But like this video, share it, go on YouTube, do as much as you can to help us, and that helps us be able to go to Hasbro and say, hey, listen, we've got an audience for this stuff, and this is what they want. So
and we send our things into Hasbro, our reviews and such, and they do get to them. And at the press event, they do tell us that we do go on the message boards. We do look to see who people want made, and it's also part of marketing. The Gambit movie has been in development hell forever. The X-Men now are in flux because of the purchase of Disney buying Fox. So now you can probably see why maybe they're waiting. And is Gambit going to look like Channing Tatum? If he's not, are they just going to make a straight up
please don't.
Gambit figure? We seem to have lots of Deadpools. None of them look like Ryan Reynolds, so it doesn't really matter. But let's work on that. Get your comment, spread the word. I'd like to see a Gambit figure.
Oh, I'd love to.
Raging Cajun.
I have the Gambit from the Legends 4-pack, not the single-carded Legend, the clamshell from back in the day. He's got like more of a cheesy pleather jacket in the one that I have.
I can't remember the name of the series. I know you collect Wolverines because your son's name is Logan, but it was one of the Gambits where he had like a battery pack on him, and then he had this little plastic thing that looked like it was throwing cards that it would light up. There was a Wolverine in that line, and there was a Gambit, of course, and then I had the old 12-inch Gambit from the old school
Nice.
Marvel line, where they were like those Titan Hero figures. They weren't the greatest, but his was awesome because it actually came with the leather coat and all those cool stuff. So
Well, tell us in the comments if there's some more stuff you want us to talk about or do follow-up videos
or what
on.
figures that you're interested in, because that's definitely we have a big stock of figures here, so we could probably go through and crack a few open. But I don't remember seeing a Gambit back there in the.
We have the
archives.
doll. We have the doll.
We have the doll.
Charles says they made a Mr. Fantastic, but they can't make a Gambit.
Yeah, it's all marketing, and it's all who they wanted to. I know they wanted to finish out the Fantastic Four. That was another thing, but then again, they said, yeah, we're going to finish the Fantastic Four. The Thing is coming, but what about Doctor Doom?
Yeah, that
seems kind of essential.
I would have had Doctor
Yeah.
Doom over the Silver Surfer any day,
Yeah.
which I believe they're going to do now.
Yeah.
And one thing I do like about that Mr. Fantastic, which is a Walgreens exclusive.
You got it, didn't you?
No, I'm still on the search for him.
Oh.
I've not seen him at any New Jersey Walgreens yet. Is that he comes with the Ultimate Nullifier. And it's just the littlest. If you're a Fantastic Four fan, you know what this is. Evan, as the noob, is giving me the what's
Not a Fantastic Four fan.
what's a VHS? What's Blockbuster face? But even though it's the crappiest little accessory, that's what I like.
Yeah,
You know, when you
that's
give me
cool.
those like little fan service things, they make me more than excited. So okay, so we've got Songbird, we've got Serpent Society, and we've got Taskmaster. We're gonna save Taskmaster to the end because that's my favorite, and I'm looking forward to getting to him. So why don't you go for Marvel Songbird?
All right.
I do not know who this character is. I'm gonna be real honest, but
I only know her. Her name is Melissa Gold. I only know her through the Thunderbolts, and then I believe that she kind of was like a darker hero, or she was on the path to redemption. That whole dark Avengers team with Norman Osborn and all that other
okay.
weirdness. She then took over the mantle of Captain Marvel, so there was a lot of weirdness going on, and I think she was sleeping with a lot of the Dark Avengers at the time. But I don't know if that's the same character as this one. We got her name as Melissa Gold. I knew that Songbird was, one thing, and it changes so often in the Marvel Universe, and who knows if those characters even exist now.
the back where it shows you this like pink wings. I don't know why, but this just like screams a mixture of like Jean Grey and Jubilee to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have a feeling that Wolverine would be really excited to hang out with her.
Okay, so we get another Avengers thing.
Oh wow! I didn't notice the wing.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the wings are pretty
so
epic.
we're gonna show this here. The wings come on their own card in the back. That's very cool.
It's very cool.
We get a big Josh Brolin arm with this piece. You take it out. I'm gonna. Yeah, you know what? You brought up the Jean Grey Marvel Girl kind of thing. This alone would have been a really
Right,
cool
it's very-
accessory for.
I would want
the
that with my
Phoenix.
Phoenix for
Yeah,
sure.
and as if you're a custom maker, you probably want to get this piece, and you could really deck this out with a lot of flame. Maybe even make I know there's people that make casts of figures. Make a cast of this, and then mix in like fire and stuff, and you could like different oranges and reds and yellows, and get a nice flame going. That would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't smell like anything.
So first impressions, this is definitely the runt of the litter. You can tell the points of articulation are way down on this figure. There's one joint. She's got these very. I don't know if she fights karate, but she definitely has a very karate vibe with the hands. The belt again moves.
It does not come off.
Does not come off. The shoulder piece probably comes off if you remove the head. It almost has like a Nova Corps shoulder vibe.
Yeah, it's a good.
But it's a cool figure. I think it's the throwaway from the wave for sure. The paint apps are okay on it. I'm gonna go out there and say nice butt, at least.
I was thinking it.
I said it. So
Let's see if we
Go
can
ahead.
get her.
she's either about to break into the robot, and yes, I did almost robot for you guys. But yeah, I'm not loving this.
Her
I
arms
think-
are very,
Well, is that
very
like so
thin.
she flies? Is that
Yeah.
I think they probably put most of her production into the.
So
Yeah, make sure to put
The head- you
all
have
your
to
production in the accessory piece.
you have to lift her hair up to get the pink peg in to her back. But very straightforward. Now, actually, I wasn't loving her until we put that on, and now
That does help.
That does
Yeah.
help, but I think MJ's right. I think the big fault of this figure, I think her face is fantastic. The hair is pretty cool that it comes down.
It's got
over
that
her.
rogue because of the white
Yeah.
hair.
But-
Charles says maybe she's a diver.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe she likes to swim. Like Namor had the straight hands, and then he had the fist, and then he had a hand to grab. So Namor had a lot more accessories. But
This is also a character like up until today I've
Thing.
never heard of.
Evan has just told us he had never heard of her until today, and I'd have to say that I only knew of her by Dark Avengers and then some of the early Thunderbolt books. But she's actually standing.
She displays awesome. I mean,
she's standing because of her wings.
I mean, I'm sure that it weighs her down it would unbalance her probably.
It may weigh almost as much as she does.
and what's it? Just one peg in the back.
It's just one peg. And I think she's a cool figure, but I think this for hands, no. It should have been maybe one hand sort of open, another hand with a fist.
Kim says Phoenix with 2 exclamation points.
Yep.
Yeah, she definitely has that kind of vibe. This is a figure that if you're not like rushing to complete your Build-A-Figure, and you don't really care, she'll be the one that you find at Walmart like probably 12, 14 months from now.
Unless she's short
on
packed.
clearance. I mean, yeah, she could be
And
short
she does
packed.
come with.
She comes with the arm.
I gotta say though,
She
the more she
displays-
spins, she looks nice though. It's
Yeah.
it's a nice face. It's a nice face on the character. But again, this is one of those, as the one junkie had said, these are one of these extra characters that you really. Is it part of the Avengers line? Yes, but is it a figure that we want with the movie?
I just see so many other figures. Like I see so many other characters in here that I would have rather seen. You've got Jean Grey. You've got even I got like a new Rogue. This reminds me of that. What's the White Tiger character from the Spider-Man wave?
I think it's White Tiger.
Is it White Tiger? There you
White
go.
Tiger.
Even more.
It
just like it's like amalgam of everything.
All right, now being that you collect DC, you already have your one Wonder Woman figure. Would you rather have another Wonder Woman figure, or would you rather have her? Straight up, just on appearance, you're like, I can have Wonder Woman without the big fluffy.
Yeah, I'm gonna
cape,
pick Wonder Woman.
You would?
I would all day.
I just based on, and I'm just looking at. I already thinking. I have one Wonder Woman figure. I think I'd rather have her because of her detail. It's a much more articulated figure, and the more she turns, the more I like her. I think she's just really, really cool.
Well, I mean, I think if she is part of the Dark Avengers, a lot of people like to, if you're going to display your toys not in the box and not keep them by series, they like to create their teams.
Mm-hmm.
So she might be, we could be completely off base, and a lot of people are going, I've needed her to complete my team, or I need to add her to the ranks. So
you want to make Thunderbolts, and you have your Luke Cage, that you got, who pretty much looks like the Luke Cage from the cart.
You know what? She even kind of has. If she had a light blue and white suit, she'd even have the Jessica Jones vibe because of the pink hair.
What was that, Sapphire?
Yeah, when she was Sapphire. Or something.
Yeah.
Power Girl.
No, that's a DC character.
No, she had a different name at one point.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We are going to do. Actually, I'm going to let Bob do this one because I know he's excited, and it's the Build-A-Figure arm with the gauntlet.
A couple people for Songbird were saying that like her flat hands help her fly when she flaps her arms. She has a meditation power praying hands.
Right.
Well, she's also going to cameo in the new Karate Kid series on Amazon. So
one guy was saying, Charles is saying that she's an audience member on The Price is Right.
Nice, nice. So we're into this is the leader of the. Oh wait, we have one more question.
I just have one more thing. Charles also said that Constable Zubiana has a girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
She's going to be in
nice.
Well played. He is lonely.
Nice.
Guys.
So
help out for
save a zoo
for
so lonely.
For just a cup of coffee.
So this is interesting because they're calling him the leader of the Serpent Society, Klaus Voorhees. I looked that up earlier today, and here it is on the back of the box. But I thought he was known as Cobra. I was on the Marvel Wiki today, and he's called Cobra, but yet I don't really see the word Cobra on here, clearly by his outfit.
Well, we know that they're taking some, I wouldn't say liberties, but the whole Cole Obsidian. Go ahead, Evan, while he's opening.
Changing the name from the name of a team to is like the character Cole Obsidian in the new movie seems to be based off of Black Dwarf, who's part of the Black Order, which also has a team alias of Cole Obsidian. So it's this weird mixture. Okay.
Evan has a great. Whoa! Hello.
That's strong.
You okay?
Yeah. It was the paint.
Evan has a piece up on actionfigurejunkies.com about who is Cole Obsidian.
You're gonna have to search for it, but yeah.
Okay, so instant reaction,
That's
super
awesome.
cool, super cool. I love how Cobra here immediately invokes all the awesomeness of a bad guy because he's green and purple, and that's what bad guys wear is green and purple. And God, I wish I had green and purple on right now. But I'm having a little problem here. You know, this is live, so a little problem here trying to get his leg back into place. There we go, so that I can pose his feet better. I love the purple
that's cool.
cape.
Like a cobra.
I love the head. This is awesome.
It's shaped like a cobra.
Yeah, this is
the
cool.
Head of a cobra.
It is. He's got some. He doesn't come with extra hands, but you really don't care because he's got these awesome like little claw fingers. So that's cool. And when I was looking at, we've had this figure here in the office for like a couple days now, and I was looking at this guy and I was like, you know, Cobra immediately to me as a child of the '80s invokes G.I. Joe, and I was like, Hasbro should relaunch G.I. Joe, but in this size.
Oh yeah.
And I think you could really go. I think you could have fun with old school, the very first like 10 or 12 G.I. Joes that they did. Granted, a lot of the body parts would be intermixed. But then when you get into like the Wave 2, like the Flints and the Dukes and a lot of the Cobra villains that you could do, I think just in this line, I think that's what Hasbro should do next when it comes to
I think it would be cool.
to G.I. Joe.
And this is a really cool bad guy figure. I mean, you know, the hood is really cool. The scalloping on his legs, you know, for the scales are really awesome. Only one set of hands, right? So he's got the...
But that doesn't bother me with this one, because they're like this.
I'm okay with it. He's got, I don't know, he almost kind of feels like a little bit more rubbery than the other ones, and maybe that's just because the amount of plastic that they had to put into him, they went with a different type. But he's got great articulation, double knee joint, can pivot here, spin. I think this is a really cool figure, honestly. And again, another belt that you can't remove, but you know it's on there. I'd say all in all, you know, because there's a couple other Serpent Society figures out there.
Yeah,
right?
There's enough to actually make like a good crew. There's a Copperhead who now I wish I would have gotten for $5 when I saw him because I actually have him together with the Cobra would be awesome.
Yeah, no, you know what? For he stands great. I don't know, I really like the cape. I mean, as Evan said, it's you know, it looks like a Cobra.
Snake, yeah.
What's the inside? Yeah, even the inside has the whole deal. I'm assuming this is going to come off too.
Yeah.
So if you want, you can. You know, he's got this kind of Spaceballs helmet. Does that come off?
I don't think so.
Everybody likes your idea for G.I. Joe, Bob.
Yeah.
Richard R. is saying Hasbro give this man a job.
I've applied several times. And it even meant moving to Rhode Island, and I was okay. In Connecticut, I was fine with that. If any of the younger junkies like Evan out there looking for a good Serpent Society story, when Steve Rogers stopped being Captain America, this is around like 335 of Volume 1 of Captain America, the Serpent Society tries to take over Washington, D.C., and Ronald Reagan was the president at the time. It tells you how long ago that was. But it's a pretty good line, and Cobra... himself, I think he's kind of like there's a whole flux of the Serpent Society of who's really in control. You went there with that.
Oh yeah.
Put the cape on her.
I think it's I got it. I think it's the purple and the green just requires a pink cape. We just did our first custom.
Yeah.
I don't think he can stand.
Not for sale.
I got him.
Not for sale.
I got him.
Can we get it? Can we? Yeah. Okay. Sure. It's got a little vibe.
So here they are, on their first date. They're at the Cape Society.
He has to move his helmet up when they go to make out later.
And again, she's standing because of a cape. Now, what makes getting Cobra essential to the Build-A-Figure wave is he actually comes with Thanos' left arm, which has the glove. So, like our big glove back here, this is the glove. Really nice joint on that. Really make the fists and stuff, but the fingers do not open. But, you know, he's got that Grimace purple going on there. So,
all right, guys, we are going to move on to our last figure before the Build-A-Figure, if you're still with us. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for spending your lunch or your post-lunch or your Monday with us as we do this.
I was gonna add in if you want a Serpent Society story, if you read Captain America Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
Like they're a big villain in the beginning, and it's a funny storyline because Serpent Society is kind of silly in it, and I think Cap Wolf comes back for that too.
Okay.
It's
So-
a lot. It's just a lot of fun.
If you couldn't hear that, the noob recommends A Serpent Society story with Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
Cap.
So, first impressions, this might be the reason why everybody else got less accessories, because we've got a gun, a sword, a shield, and a very long cape. This is this is what, the second Taskmaster we've got in a couple years here, right?
Yeah, actually, the last Taskmaster was in the Cap wave, which, I don't know, it came with Cap Wolf and a Copperhead, so maybe that's another reason why we got a Cap and a Serpent Society guy again. And Agent 13 is in that wave. I don't know, we got him back there in the archive.
So, one thing I'll say right off the bat about this that I can see from the accessories once I can actually get.
And that cape is cool.
Yeah, the cape is really awesome. I can get it
And
out.
Junkies, do you prefer plastic capes, or do you actually prefer a cloth cape when it comes to these kind of figures?
So I don't ever like to have to do that. I mean, there's no reason why the back of this isn't enough. Like,
Well, he came right out.
yeah.
He was right out.
So,
but this goes tapers in.
That's true.
Goes out.
you know, I mean, this is a very cool figure. We'll get into it, but just right off the bat, if you give me an accessory, right, I want to be able to utilize it. The fact that this comes with a holster, which of course fell, is such an awesome thing for me.
Yeah.
I just love the ability to be able to do that, because then you can have the one hand with the sword, and then the other hand, which they've got one of these great little peg slash can also clip onto the arm as well.
Ooh, I like that.
That's what the Sam Wilson Captain America that MJ got for me.
Is
Has
like
Has that too? Yeah.
So go ahead, but I mean, I like the Taskmaster character. I love the premise of the fact that, you know, he can basically mimic anyone's style. I think the only person that really kind of trips up Taskmaster in combat is Deadpool, because of how outrageous his fighting style is. He's unable to kind of get copied. But I like what they did with the face in comparison to the last one. It's a lot more of the skull that you're used to. But a lot of money went into this figure. You can see from the articulation down to the gloves are really well done. The multiple paint applications. You've got the two-tone cape. You've got a belt with, you know, multiple kind of like ammo canisters. You've got a left leg holster. You've got one on the right side. This is a very, very cool figure.
Yeah, I gotta say, we had a hunt for a while that we weren't really publicizing, where we had people looking for the $5 Taskmaster that everybody was selling at like Five Below and stuff, and we were trying to track him down, and we couldn't really get him for that price. And I'm glad we didn't get him, because this one is a lot cooler.
Yeah, this is definitely the Taskmaster you're going to want to buy for sure.
A couple people were chiming in on the question about the cape.
Yeah.
Steve S says it depends on the figure, and Richard R is saying a rubbery plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mike DeFace says this is the best in show.
Yeah, I agree. I think so. From this wave, for sure.
I think with color and details and accessories overall, I think he may be the best figure.
Well, I think they clearly. I mean, like, if you took a look at this cape, right? I mean, we could go point by point and be here all afternoon. But if you take a look at this cape, this is flat one piece, right? They went as far in the detailing the way that it would fall in the back here, which is, you know, whoever sculpted this one, shout out, because they definitely went all the way with it. I mean, even down to on the belt, the matching emblem. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of really cool features here that I think set this one apart. Go ahead.
No, he should stand.
Okay.
There you go.
From the rest of the group, I really like it. You know what? I like that idea of best in show. When we do these, you know, we'll see if we don't pick one every time. This one wins for me. What about you, Bob?
I guess, you know, initial, because when I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's cool. And I would have said, if I had to pick one figure, like my grandparents used to take me to the toy store. Remember those? And they would say you could have one. I probably would have picked this guy over Cap, over Iron Man, over Spidey, because I always like a good villain, and I always like I like all the details, the sculpt, the whole bit. I mean, I don't have to worry about really losing anything with this figure, which I had a brother that used to swallow like plastic guns and stuff. or chew them. So I kind
Is
of
that
like
why
that.
you smell everything to make sure it wasn't in his mouth?
Maybe, I don't know. This, I see, the gun getting lost, the shield getting lost, the sword getting lost. I mean, not now, obviously, but those are things that still go through my head. His details are great. He's a great upgrade. But I would still go with...
Here's why I would argue Taskmaster. Because even if you have, like, you have some Marvel stuff, you have some DC stuff, you have He-Man stuff, I think he fits in with almost everything, just in the way that his character is.
So
I think versatility, he's a Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Evan's saying that if you're not a strict Marvel DC guy and you have a bunch of figures, that the Taskmaster would blend in with a lot of other things. And it's true, like he's got a gun, he's got a sword, he's got a shield, he's got a skull face. He's kind of a great character to begin with, but then he kind of fits into a lot of different genres.
Well, and a couple things before we move on to building Thanos. We're not giving enough credit just to the hood and the face. Mm-hmm. It's got a really cool skull face, almost like almost Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
Kind of built
It's
over.
not like the Ghost Rider was, where the jaw can come down and move.
It doesn't look like it's his actual head. It looks like a mask.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
But do you think it's like a repurpose of Red Skull?
No, it looks different than the Red Skull.
Okay.
Just I don't. I think the fans would eat people alive if they did stuff like that, because it's.
I don't know whether they do that.
They do sometimes reuse the body molds, but I dig the grin too.
At the press event. They pointed that out, and Omega Red, is that his name?
Yeah.
He actually has an entire different top half.
Okay,
that's for the first ever for one of their Marvel Legend characters, and they mentioned that at Toy Fair. So definitely look for Omega Red, because he's got these extra shoulder joints and things that's never been done before.
So I love the smile he's got. That kind of I own you. I have no lips, full teeth smile.
Right. But see, I like Cobra's sneer. He's got this.
Yeah, he's got one.
But we should go back to the very simple fact that this was, I think, our biggest surprise.
Yeah, that the Infinity Wave. This one is
it really she really stands out, and I could probably see how some of our people who like to dirty up a figure. She does seem very brand new, but maybe that's just a space thing.
The black wash would go pretty far.
Yeah, I think you could really detail her face, and I think her armor just a tad more. So I'd say these three here are probably, out of the whole set, I think these are the three that we would probably all buy first.
I would probably also say, like, to add on to your point about Proxima Midnight, she's the one that gets me the most excited for the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Because these the three, Spidey, Cap, and Iron Man, we've seen them all before, and they don't look that different. I mean, Spidey looks a little bit different, but Proxima Midnight is the new character, and I'm interested to see what she does because of how
and her
giant
scale
she
is
is.
epic.
Yeah,
it really is.
I mean, even here, she's still
towering
over these two guys who are just pretty much low-level villains compared to everybody else. Even though Taskmaster's in the gray area.
Now that we open up Taskmaster, we can get this man a shield.
Yeah,
that's true. We can get the man a shield.
Actual shield.
Yeah.
So before we build, the one last thing I do, because Bob made the point about going to the actual toy store. I hit 2 Toys R Us's looking for this wave. Saw absolutely nothing. Placed my order Tuesday before the snowstorm. In the Northeast last week for this wave. I got 5 of the 7 by Tuesday morning before the snow hit, and the other 2 on Friday. At the end of the day, when there's that kind of accessibility through Amazon, Toys R Us, you got it.
Exactly.
We know.
He just went to Amazon and got what he needed after looking.
Oh, and I paid cost for all of them. But one, I got $1 something off. I think Iron Man was like
and you're probably an Amazon Prime member.
Yeah, so I got
in
the free
being
shipping.
that, you could say, well, what did you spend if you would have bought them all and drove all over the place in an area where there's 4 Toys R Us's near you? And here, click, 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 and you get TV with that because Amazon Prime, you get all their TV. So
and Comixology, which we just added for these guys.
Yeah. So again, I would like to say Hasbro. Your toy shop, I think, is going to be the next thing that people are going to want to go to look at when it comes to buying your figures. I've been to the Hasbro toy shop and everything's always sold out.
Yeah, it could use some help.
It's
guys.
surprising me, and like we went to look to get the Infinity Glove to order it, and it was sold out. It was on back order already, and I'm like, but you guys are the guys that make it. So what? You only have like 200 in a warehouse somewhere? Like you have got to supply the people with what they want. And when Toys R Us is bye-bye, which is, the clock is ticking, I'm going to start looking at the Hasbro toy shop.
Yeah.
That's the next logical place, especially because I like Hasbro products. Besides my Batman t-shirt, I like Hasbro products. Star Wars, let's do that G.I. Joe line that I just pitched today. But let's get to this. Let's get to the Thanos.
All right, let's build Thanos. I mean,
right.
we've got all of the Legend representations from the last few years up here for you. So we've got the Walmart exclusive. Let's see, what were the latest names for the site this week? Muckman, Thanos, exclusive, Junkies. Movie codes seem to be very divisive.
Yes.
I'll put it to you this way, guys. Jarrett, the founder of Action Figure Junkies, looked at movie codes as a way to, one, add a little bit more money so you continue to buy figures, but reuse something that would go to waste so that somebody else who did not have the funds to outwardly purchase a movie could get it. So they're not going away.
Right.
I know that some people are a little upset about that, but we do have some junkies that just put them up and just say, here you go. Yeah, free.
First person to grab it. So, maybe pay it forward every once in a while. Your kid gets a movie, you just give it away because a lot of us have little kids at home. You don't use the digital code. Put it up, give it away.
Yeah, I mean, think about it this way. At a minimum, you're paying what, $20 for a movie nowadays, or Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Not even the 4K. If you can make $3 or $4 off of that, if you sell 4 or 5 movies, that's an action figure. That's a legend, guys.
Or go to Five Below and get all the Wonder Woman figures.
Did you end up doing it?
No, I didn't buy all the Wonder Woman figures. Check out our Instagram for that.
All right, so let's go ahead. You want to build Thanos?
All right, thank you, because I've never actually
built a Build-A-Figure?
I've never built a Build-A-Figure. I've never, until I started working here. I think I had one Marvel Legend. It was Ant-Man, the exclusive Walgreens, and the exclusive yellow Daredevil. And I just liked both of those. I never really bought any Marvel Legends, and then Jarrett started sending them to me. So now I have like a very large collection of Marvel Legends. So
while you're building that, I do want to shout out to Bailey. He's been doing some reviews for us. We'll continue. But he had a really good point about the Marvel Legends 12-inch figures, which I think would be cool, which is how awesome would it be to see a Build-A-Figure piece in the 12-inch scale. So, 6 or 7 of them to build some epic figure, maybe another Fin Fang Foom, maybe some of the big guys that we've seen in the past, Apocalypse, the Sentinel, Galactus, in a scale where you're getting a Build-A-Figure piece. I'd give up some of the accessories that come with that for that Build-A-Figure piece. So again, Hasbro, if you're listening,
hit us up.
We got ideas.
With as many pieces as you get, and we've seen the Daredevil, the Doctor Strange, Spidey, with as many pieces, why not throw in a leg, an arm, and head? But I think for those, it's something that they would have to look at a larger
just
time
the
frame.
scale too.
Well, the scale of it, but the time frame of it, we got one for Homecoming, we got one for Doctor Strange. Now, are you talking about the?
Yeah, I'm talking about the 12-inch.
Oh, you're talking like Thor over here.
Yeah, like the Thor.
For that. I thought we were talking about the NECA big monsters.
I'm thinking, could you imagine if I got one less head, but I got a Build-A-Figure piece over maybe 8 or 10 figures that built something really epic.
There's a Black Panther. He's out now. So, I think, they know what they're doing far in advance, but I think that would be an awesome, be really, really cool. And do somebody that the fans would really want.
Yeah.
I see those black Spider-Mans everywhere. I don't think anybody really wanted that
Target
one
exclusive
because it wasn't Eddie Brock. It was Peter Parker. So this puts a smile on my face. Get it? Because I wanted to do the thing. But he is solid. That's the first time I've ever put one of those together. I always kind of doubted it. How really good can it be?
Yeah, this is a very cool figure, guys.
I've messed around with him a lot doing reviews, and then we have the big Iron Man over here, which blows me away. for a Build-A-Figure how big that thing is. But this guy is, I mean, his scale is epic. I'm actually holding him against the grain here. So let's put him up against the most recent one, which we just got a couple weeks ago. And junkies, chime in on this one. This guy's $29.99 now.
No.
Yes, everybody who's posting about him on Instagram.
He was 18.
He was. It's $29.99 on the price tag, and I think that was part of the problem why we weren't finding him everywhere. Is because he was getting put out at a wrong price point, and some places was right, some places were wrong. But I thought he was $19. We even say that in the review.
I mean,
he's 19.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, maybe they're confused with the Titan series, which is $29.99 for the Epic one. But you know, I mean, this is you know, listen, for a bad guy that you've built up over all of your films, you know, to culminate.
Well, since the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay.
Well, according to Kevin Feige, you know, that was the plan from the beginning. You know, you've got your original comic book representation, Build-A-Figure. You've got the updated comic book representation. And then now you've got your Infinity War. And I got to be honest, I like the new exclusive one, but I think the Build-A-Figure takes it, the new one.
Oh, no, I'll go against that. I'll say I really like the colors here.
I'm talking figure, not
figure-wise?
Just figure-wise.
I still got to go with the
Really?
Walmart
Okay.
exclusive. I really like the Walmart exclusive. Now,
I mean, the weight on this, the pivot, you know, this is a bad figure in a good way.
I thought it was this one. The one that was.
I know, but I wanted to do, I think the colors here are a little bit more muted, but it doesn't quite work.
It looks a little small.
It looks small. And now if we put him up here, he looks like
Yeah, something that you've probably never said about Josh Brolin before, but his chin's just not big enough for that figure.
Yeah. Like I know some people were doing this, and I don't think it really gels.
No,
I think the problem with the way that his this one's face is sculpted is that it makes him look like he has no neck.
Yeah.
With most of that's the first thing I was going to say about this one.
We've got a lot of neck on the Build-A-Figure, so.
yeah, I gotta say, I gotta give
collectors.
it to the fan community. There are some really great photoshops of Thanos from the original trailer. I've seen him as Homer. I've seen him as the Pawn Star guy.
Yeah.
Which was really funny.
Josh Brolin in Goonies.
Yeah, I've seen the Josh Brolin Goonies. I saw yesterday him as one of the Dragon Ball Z characters, and then Vegeta was in the background of the Photoshop. So, you know, all in all, guys, I think this is a pretty solid wave. You know, quick wrap up. I think Serpent Society, awesome. I think Proxima Midnight, really cool. I still think Taskmaster takes it. You know, Captain America, it's another one, great. Iron Man, I think that there was probably some different things they could have done with that figure. I still like the Spider-Man. I think, you know, it's the one that you're getting the least with in the whole line, scale-wise, Build-A-Figure-wise, no accessories. Oh, there you go. The noob messed something up. Who would have thought?
His feet were kind of messed up when he was
Sure. Excuses.
Yeah, she's solid.
Cool.
She's really cool.
She could be a Star Trek villain too. Like,
yeah,
she plays. You know, like this is one of those figures where, you know, if you play with your toys, which you know,
and you like to pose them.
them. She could go anywhere. Versatile for sure.
Yeah, especially with the.
I'd like to see her fighting Aquaman.
If you want to do like some action figure like photography and stuff, I could see her being a lot of fun. Get a nice little space. You know. Once we see the movie, we can get better backgrounds and stuff. But I think, you know, she's standing in the alleyway, and it's definitely it's kind of a nightmare.
That hand almost looks like it's pointing. It's like
she's got a nice. See, these are halfway decent hands. Whereas we looked at Songbird and she's karate chop, and it just doesn't quite work. Where if we would just give her Proxima Midnight's hand, they would have been fine.
I'm still the most intrigued with this figure from the line. I want to see what they do with the character. I mean, they showed you that you could have, you know, Loki great villain, probably one of the best that they've had so far.
And they keep bringing him back, even though they keep either locking him up or like killing him or something.
And you know, Hela from the Thor movie again showed you that you can have a powerful villain that you also kind of like as well. So I hope that in a movie with 70 plus characters, she can get a little bit of screen time and you can find out a little bit about her.
If not, I would love to read a comic with her as the lead. And as you can see, Junkies, can you zoom in here? I've put her next to Josh Brolin here, and Josh Brolin is still taller. I mean, look at that.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting. Kevin.
I put the legs on wrong.
Oh, jeez. Somebody's going to call us out. Kevin Feige put out the motivations for all the characters, and I thought Thanos' was really interesting. If you didn't read it...
I had him right.
If you didn't read it, check it out. But essentially, Thanos warned his home planet that there was an impending doom. They didn't listen to him, and everyone is dead, and he's the last one from his planet. So because of that, his motivation is that his will is the way that the universe should be ran, because he can save us all. So it'll be interesting to hear, you know, how his dialogue and how his story plays into, you know, characters like Iron Man and Cap that have opposing views but very strong views on how things should happen, and then bringing in another third, which is an absolute. He has, you know, he's willing to destroy anything to get what he thinks. You know, will you have her be just an extension of his character where she's going to follow everything she has to say, or is there a little, you know, Nebula and Gamora where there's a resentment because of how powerful he is? So she's the one that I can't wait to see on the big screen. All in all, very cool unboxing. We're going to keep working on these as we go along. If there's anything that you think we missed in there, let us know. We're going to kind of try to come up with a criteria to rate each figure against. Points of articulation, paint application, you know, likeness, stuff like that. So if you guys have any suggestions, you know, throw it in the comment field. We're gonna do a couple other lives this week. We may not do some unboxings. We may just talk like state of the industry, especially with Toys R Us. We should know something like Tuesday, Wednesday from everything that we've been reading. So you know, you'll see us again this week. But again, you know, please go on, like our YouTube page, like our like our Instagram, share it, comment. The more that you guys interact with us, the easier it is for us to work with these bigger companies and, you know, have your voices heard as well. You know, we want to be the place where you guys can come and sound off on. So, you know, help us help you.
And for some of those junkies that live on the other side of the world, where it's a lot harder to get toys, this enables them to see these products beforehand. So before they make the big leap, before they order from like Amazon UK and things, they can go, the junkies didn't really like that one, and I'd rather have Songbird over having Spidey because of this and that. This is their way of actually getting those products in front of them, seeing how they move, they articulate, because we take it for granted that we do have toy stores and we can go to these places and buy them, but a lot of guys overseas and girls overseas, it's harder for them. So this enables us to reach out and help the junkies that are in the other places of the world. So,
guys, well, we really appreciate it, and have a good day, and we'll talk to you again later this week.
AFJ for life, guys.
AFJ.